Hey, listen to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and NPR. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey.
We're going to do our rundown of the results from this year's Royal Rumble event. We're going to do similar to what we did to our preview, so we're going to talk about everything that isn't the Rumble matches, then we're going to play our lovely theme song this week, and then we're going to go on into the Rumble matches on the other side. So let's kick it off in the pre-show match. It was the Women's Tag Team Championships. Asuka and Charlotte Flair were defending them against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
And I could tell what kind of a night I was in for with this match.
It definitely went against all the predictions.
Yeah. And forced me to abandon one of my picks for to win the Rumble.
I thought when word came over that this match was on the pre-show, I was like, okay, I was already pretty confident Asuka and Charlotte weren't losing the titles, but it's on the pre-show. Now it's almost a guarantee they won't lose the titles.
Yeah. Should tell that to Lacey Evans.
But yeah, I guess Lacey didn't hear that, decided to go against the grain, and ultimately we have new tag team champions, or old tag team champions. Different tag team champions.
Yeah, it was a lateral movement, to borrow a phrase from Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah. And yeah, we're back to Jax and Baszler, which we thought that storyline was pretty much closed off.
It is. I guess it is what it is. We'll have to see where Asuka goes from here, because I'm pretty sure we have a pretty good idea where Charlotte is, even though you suspect something different.
Yeah, it's true. It definitely seems as though Charlotte and Lacey is the path forward for her.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's our Mania match for Charlotte this year is Lacey, and it's designed to elevate Lacey.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people complaining like that's all they're giving Charlotte. I'm like, well, what do you want? If she's in the title picture, you're complaining that she's in the title picture. She's given a storyline, and you're complaining she's given a storyline.
They want her to do everything, but also do nothing.
So now the question is who can take the titles off of Jax and Baszler and actually keep them away from the women's champions?
Please, anybody but the women's champions. We don't want any more double champs. It was horrible for that period while Asuka was women's tag champ. She was barely defending it. She wasn't even doing anything really with that women's title. It was a dark period, and we've had quite a few of them recently. So no more WWE, no more.
I guess the question is because we did get a number one contender on Raw, Naomi and Lana. So could they become the number one, the ones to finally separate the titles from the main eventers?
I think it would be pretty neat for Lana's storyline to come full circle after the injury from Jax and Baszler and missing out on the women's tag title shot with Asuka, which led to Charlotte winning the title. I think it would be pretty cool to see Lana pick up the women's tag team titles here, and Naomi's awesome as well, so I've got nothing against that new champion possibility there.
I don't really either.
Given the bouts, why not? Alrighty, well, we will move on into the main show, an opening match, WWE Championship. A nice little 2-minute 30 match, as expected, and
with about 3 minutes before the bell even rang.
Yeah, of just brawl between McIntyre and Goldberg.
Yeah, what can you say? Drew earned Goldberg's respect, and he did walk out of the event as the WWE champion.
No miscashing.
No miscashing.
Good. How much longer does he have to cash that in, right? It's like...
May, I believe.
May.
Whenever the Money in the Bank pay-per-view is held.
Yeah,
the day before that will be his last day to cash in.
I think it's around May. Yeah. It's pretty close after Mania.
They say a year, but technically it's from one Money in the Bank pay-per-view to the next.
So we'll have to see what is next in Drew McIntyre's future. We can talk a little bit more about it after the Rumble match, I guess, because a couple of these World Champion storylines and these Women's Champion storylines pretty much been developed from that Royal Rumble and the Royal following. So for now, we'll just stick to results, and we'll leave that theory crafting till the other side of the song. Sasha Banks, Carmella, SmackDown Women's Championship. Sasha Banks made Carmella tap.
Yeah, it was a good match. I think it was one of Carmella's better matches she's had so far. Unfortunately for her, she just could not overcome the boss. And her subservient got ejected during the match.
Yeah, Reginald was really the upper hand that Carmella had, and once he was removed, the boss just started being the boss.
And what's funny is he was rejected for catching Sasha. He didn't interfere in the match, didn't get involved in any way. He just caught Sasha and then was ejected for it.
Don't touch the competitors in the match. The rules are pretty plain and simple. It's not the referee's fault. He didn't listen to the rule book. And then our final match, that is not the Rumble matches themselves. It was a last man standing match for the WWE Universal title. Almost 25-minute slugfest between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens.
These two went to war. The person who did not go to war was Paul Heyman. Let's just say that you don't want to have a pair of handcuffs on with Paul Heyman around, because apparently he cannot find the hole to put a key in.
Yeah, it was a little funny.
And that's what she said.
That might be the first that's what she said on this show in 8 years.
But yeah, it was a great match. I really enjoyed it. They had some great spots. The golf cart spot came out of nowhere. That was fun. You had the forklift frog splash spot, which was great. The only thing missing was Judy Bagwell.
You're on a roll today.
And you had them fighting throughout the Thunderdome. You got Owens thrown off the Thunderdome at one point. And they just went throughout the arena, the empty arena.
Not to the concession stand.
No, because because of obvious reasons, there was no concession.
Yeah.
So, they didn't end up in a bathroom. That was disappointing. But it was a great match. Roman and Kevin Owens, they have great chemistry together. And so that's what I knew the match would be great. I just didn't want to see it again.
Again. It's the key word, right?
Yeah, but it was a great stopgap. And now we can look forward to Roman's WrestleMania match, which I think we're going to get to in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But this is going to be this feud was a crowning moment for Kevin Owens, even though he didn't win the title.
Yeah, Kevin Owens has gone 0-3 against Roman Reigns. He's failed to capture that Universal title 3 times now in pretty much all stipulation matches. And somehow, some way, he's still coming out of it looking absolutely amazing.
Yeah, although, to be fair, he technically should be the Universal Champion because of Paul Heyman's being unable to unlock the hand set. By all rights, the referee should have counted to 10.
Shh, we don't talk about that.
But he stopped at 6. The second one. The first one got KO'd by Roman Reigns. So the second one should have, by all rights, counted the 10 and gave the match to Kevin Owens.
Shh. But with that, we will move on into our entrance theme of the week for absolutely no reason. It is going to be Bianca Belair's theme, and then when we come back on the other side of the song, we will talk about those juicy Rumble matches and all of the feuds that have come out of them and what we think that WrestleMania card's gonna look like.
I'm on my own, against the wall.
And you're back with the Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and NPR. I'm Grady, he's Josh. You want to do women's or do you want to do men's Royal Rumble first?
Let's go women's, so we can explain why we just played the thing we did.
That does make sense. It is time for the yearly tradition where I read the entrants in their order. The Women's Royal Rumble match, starting off with Bayley, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Billie Kay, Shotzi Blackheart, Shayna Baszler, Toni Storm, Jillian Hall, Ruby Riott, Victoria, Peyton Royce, Santana Garrett, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Dana Brooke, Tori Wilson, Lacey Evans, Mickie James, Nikki Cross, Alicia Fox, Mandy Rose, Dakota Kai, Carmella, Tamina, Lana, Alexa Bliss, Ember Moon, Nia Jax, and Natalya at number 30.
This one was the better of the two matches. I really, really loved the Women's Royal Rumble match this year. It's the best one they've had out of the four that they've had. We had people from the first three slots that just went the distance pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Which was amazing to see. We had a few surprises. I adored seeing Jillian Hall. Victoria was a surprise too, but I always kind of thought maybe they'd bring her in for a Royal Rumble. I didn't see Jillian Hall being brought in. That was a legit surprise for me.
Yeah.
And see her form a union with Billie Kay real quick was hilarious.
Billy and Jilly, man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jilly did not expect to be eliminated by Billy.
I think just at this moment, just for a little bit, I just want to appreciate, a Royal Rumble can be amazing, between the ropes. We can just have 1 through 30 come out normal, play it out, have your match. But I really love the stuff like what Billy does, or the people who avoid getting in the ring, or think they're being big brain by coming up with some plan just to be thwarted pretty quickly. And I gotta say, Billie Kay trying to make friends with every single entrant that came out was just hilarious to me.
Especially the Shayna Baszler one.
Yeah.
That one was hilarious. She was lucky she didn't get hit in the face.
Yeah.
Although technically she was, because Shayna hit the press pictures that Billy has. But yeah, we had quite a few people to go 30 minutes in this match.
Mm-hmm.
It took a while to actually get an elimination too. Shotzi was the first eliminated, and which I enjoyed. I enjoyed seeing her entrance.
Yeah.
And then you had Tony time for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was not Tony time last weekend.
But yeah, let's talk about. Oh, by the way, my number 3 pick actually did show up in the Rumble.
You were correct.
Yours did not.
Okay, mine was a wild pick. Okay.
Yes.
And I can still be happy that your pick showed up.
Yes. But yeah, Rhea. This was all about Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea Ripley came in 14th and lasted almost 40 minutes. But Bianca Belair was number 3. And she went the distance at almost 57 minutes, setting a new record for the longest being in the Rumble for women.
Mm-hmm.
The previous was of Natalya at 56 minutes and 2 seconds. But instead of eliminating 13 people, she only got 4, but she got one of them was the most important person of all.
The last person in there.
Yeah. I actually was wondering at the end of the match when they were on the outside sitting on the apron if they weren't going to test to see what happened if they both were eliminated at the same time and just jump down.
It looks like they thought about it.
Yeah. But cooler heads prevailed. They got back in the ring, and we got about 2 more minutes of amazing wrestling between these two women before Bianca Belair finally was able to cast Rhea Ripley over the top rope to the floor and win the Royal Rumble after they eliminated Charlotte Flair together. So technically, Charlotte Flair performed the Roman Reigns role this year.
Yeah. You could definitely see that.
But this was definitely about elevating Rhea Ripley and especially elevating Bianca Belair by making her go the distance, pretty much.
Mm.
And as long as she did, I think it just makes for an amazing moment for Bianca. She's the first African American woman to win the Rumble, the first African American at all to win a Rumble since 2000. And it's just And now it's Black History Month, so it kind of fits too. But it was just, I really was happy for Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell how emotional she was in her interview after winning.
Yeah.
That I really have high hopes that they put her in an amazing match at WrestleMania. She goes over, and we get Bianca Belair a singles push going forward. I think she deserves it.
Yeah, I wanna meet the person who was watching this Royal Rumble match, saw the ending, saw Bianca Belair celebrating, and says she doesn't deserve that. Because I want to meet that person, and I want to go sock him in the face.
I mean, just from the fact that she went 56 minutes and 52 seconds. I think that in itself shows that she deserved it. It was a theme. Both Rumbles had a theme of people going long distances in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to see all sorts of stuff. We got a couple surprise returns. We got a few surprise partnerships that devolved. And we got a really great ending. It was basically like the 2007 finish between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, which is considered one of the greatest, if not the greatest, finish of a Royal Rumble ever. And you got to see that between two really young talent. And I think that's the difference there. The finish elevated two young talents.
That's the future of your division right there.
Yep, send Rhea to Raw and let's Bianca do her thing on SmackDown.
Yeah, and like maybe 4 or 5 years from now, we're gonna look back in this moment, this few minutes there, those ending sequence at the Rumble is gonna be in video packages for years as these women just run roughshod over the divisions.
Another Royal Rumble we can play back with what you just said. The 2005 finish. Cena, Batista.
Yep. Two young talents getting the push of a lifetime at the perfect time for their careers, including the one who came second and didn't win.
Yeah, just minus Vince McMahon blowing his quads out.
Oh, yeah, we skipped that part.
Yeah. In this case, it would have been Triple H blowing his quads out.
Yeah, we don't need that.
But yeah, it was a great Rumble match, and in my opinion, better than the men's.
Yeah, I'd agree. I definitely enjoyed watching this one more. It just seemed like it was so well put together, from a storyline aspect to a wrestling aspect to the story they told. With Bianca coming in early, Rhea Ripley was the monster. I think she got like 7 eliminations. There was no wasted moment. There wasn't anything there I was like, oh, you could have done something there. Of course, unfortunately, that meant some of the women were used for fodder, including Dakota Kai. As much as I love that she did enter, she only lasted a few minutes. A little disappointing, but the point was to build Rhea Ripley, and she helped out with that by just continuing to prove that Rhea Ripley is a monster and is one of the people that you're going to have to look out for in the future of this company. And Alexa Bliss, who just last moment to talk about, really, we thought would be a bit more of a threat. They quickly subdued, luckily. We didn't have to see anyone go crazy.
No, they threw her out. Rhea Ripley personally threw her out before she could transform.
Yeah, smart move.
I sat there and said, Rhea Ripley just broke every rule of anime. You don't attack somebody during a transformation.
Yeah, but it worked. Anime, take note. Figure it out. Alrighty, well, we will move on over into the men's Royal Rumble match before we run out of time. With the entrance, Edge, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, Mustafa Ali, Jeff Hardy, Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura, Carlito, Xavier Woods, Big E, John Morrison, Ricochet, Elias, Damian Priest, The Miz, Riddle, Daniel Bryan, Kane, King Corbin, Otis, Dominic Mysterio, Bobby Lashley, Hurricane Helms, Christian, AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, Cesaro, Seth Rollins, and Braun Strowman.
Alright. This was a good match, too. I felt, for a good portion of it, it was about Big E, who came in at 10. As he lasted a half hour, got 4 eliminations. Unfortunately, he got eliminated by somebody who wasn't even in the match.
But sets up a massive Big E AJ Styles feud.
Yeah. I just have a big question about how they're going to do that, because AJ Styles is a Raw talent.
They'll do
it. Unless they're going to do a title unification and AJ suddenly wins the United States title.
Maybe. Is Survivor Series coming up? You know, the one night a year that Raw and SmackDown go head to head?
But yeah, it was, we had a few people go 20, 30 minutes. Riddle, this was a great showing by Matt Riddle. Even though he only got 1 elimination, he still went 30 minutes. And the stuff he did with Daniel Bryan, was absolutely entertaining. It was hilarious watching 2 people try to do submissions in the middle of a Royal Rumble. But I think the biggest person to actually get an elevation was Damian Priest.
Yeah, I'm hovering over his name.
Yeah, he only had 15 minutes, but he had 4 eliminations. He eliminated Kane. It was just, and he also eliminated Corbin, which was my dark horse pick.
Yeah, I think Damian Priest, you know, if I'm looking at this Rumble and I'm going, who really benefited from this? First off, it was his call-up, because he appeared on Raw the next week, right? And got the nod from Edge, but he looked like money. And that's what you want in your main roster debut. He showed up, he looked really awesome. He came out, he eliminated people, he did his job, and then he obviously wasn't going to be the winner, but he set himself up pretty quickly for a few feuds, either with the people he eliminated, you know, depending where he's going to float to, seemingly Raw. But he could end up anywhere still. We just don't quite know just yet.
He did show up on Raw on Monday. And he had himself a John Cena moment. Because he shook hands with a veteran Hall of Famer, who was also in this match. Because I think it's finally time we start talking about who actually won the event.
That is true. We are running out of time. I guess number 1 and number 2, Edge and Randy Orton, were also number 29 and 30 left in the match.
Yeah, but we're putting an asterisk besides Randy Orton's time.
Are we?
Because he was gone for about 50 of the 100 of the hour. He was 50 minutes of the hour he was in the match.
That's not illegal.
No, but he wasn't in the match a full hour like Edge was.
Like our eventual winner.
Yeah. Now, WWE can finally say somebody's name other than Shawn Michaels when talking about winners from number 1.
3 winners from number 1 spot, including Shawn Michaels and Edge.
Yep. And a mysterious person that will never be said.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, and the most interesting thing about Edge's win here is he went the hour.
Yeah.
He did not eliminate anybody until the final 5.
Didn't need to.
Yeah. It was definitely a stamina thing for Edge to show that he can go. We also got a big moment with Christian returning.
Yeah. Seemingly for a little while. Maybe?
Yeah, so maybe we get to see Christian have that one more match.
I really hope.
If this was his one more match, this was a great match to end on. He got an elimination because he helped, because it took 5 people to eliminate Bobby Lashley, and he was one of them. Which really ticked off Bobby Lashley, and that kind of hurt Riddle, because Riddle had a match on Raw for the United States title, and Bobby Lashley got disqualified in it.
Yeah, don't tick off Bobby Lashley.
We also got an hilarious moment with Hurricane Helms returning. Trying desperately to choke slam Big E and Bobby Lashley and getting chucked out of the ring for his trouble.
Yeah.
More things changed, more things never seem to stay the same. But yeah, this was about Edge. Edge wins. Now the question is who does he pick for his title? And I think we are probably on the same wavelength in thinking he'll go after the Universal Champion.
What? Sorry. Yeah, the Universal Champion. I think it'll be Edge reigns instead of Edge McIntyre.
Yeah, we finally put Orton Edge to rest on Monday. And now we move on, and I believe we'll see Reigns and Edge in the main event of WrestleMania 37.
Well, that is where we will leave you because we have run out of time this week. It's been great talking to you.
Baby.
Who do you think that Edge will be going up against at WrestleMania 37? Let us know either on our Facebook page, facebook.com/WrestlingRadio, or Twitter page, twitter.com/WrestlingRadio. And we'll see you next week.